The decision to rent before you buy a home can be daunting, but it doesn't have to be. Breathe easy, because I'm here to give you the information you may be asking yourself right now. Let's get started. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I'm Lindsay Ashley, realtor with Keller Williams Realty Select, and I'm so happy that we found each other. So let's keep finding each other with you taking a quick moment to subscribe by clicking that red button right there in the corner. And if you'd like to get notifications when a new video is live, press that bell notification below. You won't want to miss these juicy nuggets of information coming your way. In this video, we'll be discussing the advantages and disadvantages of renting and buying so that you have all the information you need when pondering that all-consuming question: should I rent before I buy? This question comes up a lot, and with good reason. I'm sure you're asking yourself this question, then you've already headed over to Google in hopes of finding the guidance you seek. So what did you find besides this video? That's right, over 13 million hits. I don't know about you, but I don't have the time to sort through all of that, which is why I'm breaking it down for you, wrapped up beautifully and tied with a bow. Most folks think that it's cheaper to rent an apartment, condo, or even a home versus buying one, but that's not always the case. Renting or deciding to buy a home isn't always fueled solely by dollar signs, although that is a huge deciding factor, but it can also depend on matters of the heart, long-term goals, and personal reasons. If you're a fan of pro-con lists, you're absolutely going to love what's coming up right now: renting. While there are numerous advantages to renting, we're going to touch on the most popular ones for the sake of clarity and attention span. I mean, that's why you're here, right? First advantage to renting: lower upfront costs. This is a huge advantage for those who do not have the finances set up at the time to pay out a large sum of money right out of the gate. With renting, a landlord usually asks for a security deposit, first month's rent, maybe the last month's rent as well, and possibly a pet security deposit if you're bringing Fido along. The average rent for an apartment in Sarasota is a little under $1,500, which is a 1% increase compared to the previous year. Being new to the area, renting while you explore all the beautiful neighborhoods that Sarasota has to offer can be most beneficial to your wallet while you decide if you want to take the leap to buy. The beauty of renting is that you can save some serious dough by not having to make any repairs to the place you're renting. Leaky faucet? Call the landlord or property management company. Time for the carpet to be replaced? Hello, landlord. Also, as a renter, you may not be charged for mowing or any other outside maintenance. It's usually included in your rent, and you have the peace of mind of never having any unexpected expenses spring up and surprise you. This takes us smoothly into number 3. When you sign your lease, your monthly rent is already agreed upon. So there's one chunk of change that you know is coming out like clockwork every month, right? Other expenses may be included, such as water and trash service. Again, clockwork. If you know your budget, then you probably already have a good idea about your other expenses, such as credit card bills, utility bills, renter's insurance, etc., etc. So again, no unexpected expenses coming out of left field. Predictability can be very reassuring for many people. And the fourth advantage to renting is easier relocation. Hopefully you plan on staying in Sarasota for a long while. However, we all know that life can be surprisingly full of twists and turns. With renting, you may have to break a lease if the relocating is immediate. But if you can wait until the end of your lease, you're free to move on without having to sell your property. You just pack up and go. Now let's take a look at the advantages of buying. Again, there are numerous reasons why one may prefer to buy over renting, so we're keeping this easy peasy lemon squeezy. Your first advantage to buying: stable monthly payments. If you have a fixed rate mortgage, you will pay the same monthly amount on your principal and interest until your mortgage is paid off. You don't have any surprises about your payment amount each increasing year, as you may when you rent, when your landlord decides to increase the amount of your lease each year. Building equity is important because your home is considered an asset. As you pay your mortgage down, your home values go up. Well, let's hope so. If you have children or plan to, you can use this equity to pay for college tuition, or you can use the equity for larger home improvements or remodeling. Think of it as a savings account you live in. Unless you have teenagers throwing a rave in their room, then owning a home can bring you a greater sense of privacy. It's only you and your family in your home, unlike an apartment or some condos that have shared walls where you can hear 2B watching his favorite TV show or knowing that your upstairs neighbors are in fact throwing a rave. You can paint the walls any color you like, tear out that old carpet and put in hardwood floors, or buy new appliances, because when you own a home, all of these decisions are yours to make. You don't have to go to anyone else to ask for permission, so feel free to discover your hidden Joanna Gaines. Okay, so you can't have a pro-con list with only pros, right? Right. Let's begin with the cons of renting. What we mean by this is that your landlord can decide each year or at the end of each lease agreement to raise your rent. Usually property managers will tell you this when you sign your first agreement, but it is never guaranteed that they won't raise the cost of your rent each year. So for some, this can come as a surprise. Earlier, you may have gotten super pumped for not having to shell out any money for repairs, right? That's a great advantage. But if you rent, you're at the mercy of your landlord and on their timetable as to when they can get around to doing the repairs, which means you could be waiting a while for that leaky faucet to be repaired. Homeowners pay down their monthly mortgage payments to gain equity in their homes. As they pay on their loan and their loan amount decreases, the value of equity in their home increases. And when renting, the money you pay monthly goes to the landlord or property management company to keep the property running, which means you aren't saving any money to be used down the road. Thinking that you'd like to add a deck for those summer cookouts or change the flooring in the dining room? Think again. Most landlords do not permit you to change the rental, so you are pretty much stuck with what you have until you move to a place that's your own. That brings us to our last part of the video. I know, I'm sad too, but our time together today is coming to a close. I hope you found all of this information helpful, and if you have, please take a moment afterward to hit that subscribe button and share this video with someone you know who may have these same questions. Okay, enough plugging. On to the finale, the cons of buying. Closing costs. Enough said. In all seriousness, closing costs can be high and very surprising for buyers, especially if you don't ask for any assistance with the cost from the seller. You will have to pay a certain percentage down depending on the loan you qualify for. Home inspection fees, property taxes, title search, title insurance, points, the list keeps going on. Also, and this one is just as important, you will need a decent homeowner's insurance bundle because in Florida, you will be susceptible to storms, hurricanes, and floods, so you may be paying more every year for coverage. Knowing what you can afford is extremely important before putting in an offer on any home. And a good real estate agent can generally give you a rough estimate of what your closing costs may look like depending on your offer amount. And a good loan officer can help you in regards to the down payment and other financial questions. To give you some perspective on home costs, the median sale price of a home around Sarasota is approximately $330,000. Just some food for thought. Usually during the first couple of years, you're paying on the mortgage interest, meaning that you're not technically paying down on your loan just yet. And what does that mean? It means that you're not building equity right away. While it is beneficial in the long run, it's not an immediate advantage. Leaky faucet again and the dishwasher equipment cycle? When owning a home, these costs are all on you. You can either do these repairs yourself or call a handyman or woman, but either way, you're paying. You suddenly find yourself needing to move for work or a family emergency, whatever reason, and you need to do it soon. But wait, you still have to put your house on the market, pack, get your home sold, and then move. But you don't have time for all of that. What if your home takes months to sell? What if you have a buyer but something doesn't work out and your home has to go back on the market? These are all very possible scenarios that can happen when selling a home, which makes it, at times, a lengthy process, which adds extra stress, especially if you need to have your home sold as soon as possible. All right, so here we are at the end of our time together, for today at least. No one but you can truly decide if renting is better before buying, or if buying a home immediately is the way to go. It is a personal decision and not one to be taken lightly. Take a look at your finances and decide which is the better option for you. Decide what your long-term goals are and reflect on your current circumstances. Only you can make this all-important decision, but I can certainly give you the tools needed to help you get there. So that's it. I'm Lindsay Ashley with Keller Williams Realty Select, and if you're looking for a realtor to help you with your next home purchase, sale, investment, head on over to my website, lindsayashley.com. You can schedule a free call with me to talk about your plans to buy, sell, or invest. So contact me today so we can work together to find a home that you love. You can never, ever get enough information from me. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.